Welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal are about to complete the fastest transfer ever in the history of transfers. Arsenal about to complete the signing of Norgaard within 48 hours. According to Fabrizio, the player has now been given full permission to discuss everything and finalize everything with Arsenal and to do his medicals as well. He will be flying into London, arriving at the Arsenal headquarters to complete his medicals within a very short period of time. He will be announced as an Arsenal player. But for Dimarzio, again, look at Dimarzio, is saying that after the signing of Norgaard and Kepa, Arsenal will advance to sign Victor Gyokeres. He says that Victor Gyokeres is going to be going to Arsenal because that is the only club he is waiting for. That is the only club that Victor Gyokeres is actually listening to. Now, are Arsenal going to give up on Benjamin Sesko, a player that we have scouted and waited for 2 years, just to go for Victor Gyokeres because he wants Arsenal and he wants Arsenal only? It's a possibility because Mikel Arteta wants players that are 100% committed to this Arsenal project. We'll be discussing that as well. And Alejandro Garnacho. Yes, I didn't get enough time to discuss Alejandro Garnacho before, but now I have enough time. Let's talk about Alejandro Garnacho. He's been linked with Arsenal. Not that Arsenal are interested, but a few sources are saying that Arsenal could look there in that direction as they are in the market for a left winger. And the big question for me is, if you're Alejandro Garnacho and Manchester United are trying to rebuild, why are they chasing you from their club? This is a Manchester United reject. There's no question about that, because it's one of the players that are being chased out of Manchester United because of ill discipline, because of rotten behavior. I don't think that his work ethic, for me, appeals to me. I don't think his discipline appeals to Mikel Arteta and anyone at Arsenal, unless our standards are dropping massively, but I don't think so. But we'll talk about Alejandro Garnacho, and is he an upgrade to Gabriel Martinelli? Yes, Arsenal are open to offers for Gabriel Martinelli, but is Alejandro Garnacho an upgrade to Martinelli in terms of scoring goals, in terms of creating chances, in terms of, invading space, in terms of eating up space with pace? Is he an upgrade to Nelly? Let me know in the comment box below. Let's get into it. Let's start off with that big update from Fabrizio Romano. He's confirmed that Norgaard has now been authorized to undergo medicals at Arsenal after a deal was agreed with Brentford. Next signing after Kepa and Martinelli, done. Norgaard is a new Arsenal player without doubt. He will be traveling to London to do his medicals with Arsenal, and then everything will be finalized. Guys, this could be the fastest transfer Arsenal have ever done. But most importantly, this could be the fastest transfer ever in the history of transfers. I mean, one of the very quick transfers I remember at Arsenal, there is that deadline day. It was in was it in 2010? 2010 was it? When Arsenal lost 8-2 to Manchester United. There is that deadline day. Arsene Wenger went out and signed about, 6 players on deadline day. Mikel Arteta was brought that day. Yusuf Benayoun was brought that day. Park Chu-young was signed that day. I think we also signed Bukayo Saka on that day. Did we sign Bukayo Saka on that deadline day as well? I think as well. We signed about 6 players on that deadline day, right? And then you have the Fabio Vieira deal. The Fabio Vieira deal as well also took a very short period of time, about 48 hours, and the deal was done. But this Norgaard deal, it is not yet even 24 hours since Arsenal made their first approach to Brentford, and the player is set for medicals. Absolute genius stuff from Arsenal. Obviously, he comes in to replace a very, very beloved player, and we hope that, Arsenal fans get to love him the way they love Thomas Partey, because Partey is really a loved player. But he will be announced as a new Arsenal player soon, together with Kepa, together with Martin Zubimendi. Now, with Martin Zubimendi, we know the shirt number. It might be, or it's gonna be, shirt number 36. But with Norgaard, I don't know. I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking maybe shirt number 21, because Fabio Vieira has been out on loan. If Fabio Vieira comes back, maybe Fabio Vieira takes on the shirt number 10. I don't know. Maybe he takes on the shirt number 10 and we get shirt number 21 to Christian Norgaard. And I'm also intrigued to see what Kepa is going to be putting on because, I mean, squad numbers and squad shots, very interesting stuff. But don't be surprised to see Christian Norgaard in the shirt number 21 and then the Arsenal shirt number 10 be given to someone like either Rodrigo or someone like Fabio Vieira if he stays. Now, there is a bigger story than this one, and that story comes in from Gianluca Di Marzio. Now, Gianluca Di Marzio is saying that Arsenal will sign Victor Gyokeres because he wants to join Arsenal. Other clubs have tried to enter the race, but he will go to Arsenal. He was their first target at the start, and now they have to find an agreement with Sporting Lisbon. That's according to Gianluca Di Marzio, one of the senior reporters in Italy. And he's one, why I have given this a lot of attention. Gianluca Di Marzio is a close journalist and a closer outlet to Juventus. And we know that Juventus have been a top admirer for Victor Gyokeres. And we know that Victor Gyokeres has turned them down. So Di Marzio is saying that this guy is going to go to Arsenal, right? Because he wants to join Arsenal. Other clubs have tried to enter the race, but he will go to Arsenal only, right? He was their first target at the start, from the start, and they'll now need to find an agreement with Sporting. There are a few things that I don't agree with entirely when it comes to this update, right? I'm sorry. There are a few things that I don't agree with entirely when it comes to Gianluca Di Marzio's update. Number one, I don't think he was Arsenal's first target from the start. Our initial targets were Alexander Isak, Benjamin Sesko, Oli Watkins, Julian Alvarez. If Edu was not in this, if Edu was the sporting director, Victor Gyokeres would never, ever make it on the list this summer. I think that Edu is a Mikel Arteta boy, and both of them would have agreed easily to go for Isak or Sesko. So I don't think he was the priority for Arsenal. But where Di Marzio is getting it right, he says he wants to join Arsenal, he's turned down other clubs, right? Just to wait for Arsenal, and Arsenal now will need to find an agreement with Sporting. You know, when he says that Arsenal will sign Gyokerez, I think that the conditions he puts forward are almost the same conditions that are available for Arsenal to sign Benjamin Sesko. Listen, why? Number one, yes, he wants Arsenal only, right? But Benjamin Sesko has not said he doesn't want to play for Arsenal. And Benjamin Sesko really wants to join Arsenal this summer. That's number one. Number two, Benjamin Sesko does not have an agreement and is not talking to other clubs as per my information, as per Fabrizio, and as per The Athletic. So that means that although Gyokeres is really focused on Arsenal, there is another guy that Mikel Arteta likes very much called Benjamin Sesko that is also focused on joining Arsenal. In fact, the agent of the player, the agent of Benjamin Sesko said, we will not pressurize Leipzig, right? But Sesko is going to go to a special club with a special project with a special manager. And we're going to take our time and we're not going to rush this. We're not going to rush it. So I think Gyokeres really wants to join Arsenal. And the signs are very clear, right? The signs are very clear. It's just that Arsenal don't view him as a priority. It's as simple as that. Like, his deal is easier. There are reports from all over the world now that Sporting CP are willing to even accept a smaller fee for the player, like less than 70 million euros, maybe 65, maybe 55 million euros. But Arsenal don't have Gyokerez as their priority. This was reported by Fabrizio right in January, that they want to spend big on either Isak or Benjamin Sesko. And unless Arsenal can do Benjamin Sesko, and unless Arsenal can do Isak, those two are still very, very big options. So Gyokerez, yes, I would understand when someone says that he wants Arsenal and therefore Arsenal are going to sign him, but that's not enough. That's not enough for you to push a club to sign you because you're the only they're the only club you want. It's not enough, right? I think it's gonna take more, like Arsenal being interested the way we are interested in Benjamin Sesko, honestly. Now, the future of Gabriel Martinelli hangs in balance. The Athletic are saying that Gabriel Martinelli is happy at Arsenal, and Arsenal expect him to stay. But if an attractive buyer came in for Martinelli with an appropriate price, then Arsenal's position could shift. This is according to the Athletic. And with that report, so many players have actually been linked with Arsenal. With Gabriel Martinelli's future, if anything becomes more clearer, defined, we shall do a deep dive, right? But I want us to talk about one of the options that is being discussed, actually two. Garnacho and Sancho are the two are some of the two options that are being discussed to replace Gabriel Martinelli. With Sancho, I want to put it on pause because Sancho is a talent, but my problem with him is his numbers. And the Arsenal left wing needs to raise its level in terms of productivity and also in terms of numbers. I remember Arsenal trying to sign Neto. If you remember, we tried to sign Neto on the left wing. Okay? So Mikel wants numbers and he wants productivity. So let's put Jadon Sancho on hold. We'll discuss him right as we get to the end. Let's discuss Alejandro Garnacho. Now, objectively, Garnacho is a talent and is one of those youngsters that have lit up the Premier League and maybe helped Manchester United to get somewhere maybe in the last 2 years or 3 years. That is objectively. He's a good talent and he might become a strong player. He might become a real world beater because the talent is there. But for me, talent without discipline, we have had those cases at Arsenal and it's enough, right? I do not want another player coming into this Arsenal side and they're, pulling and pushing agendas against the manager, against anyone at the club. That kind of rotten behavior would derail Arsenal's vision of winning the Premier League and possibly the Champions League. What do I mean? Garnacho is one of the players that have been chased from Manchester United by Ruben Amorim, and the reason as to why he has been chased out of Manchester United by Amorim is clear. Ill discipline. That's the reason. Ill discipline. He's not being chased because he doesn't provide. He's not being chased because he's uncoachable. It is ill discipline. Garnacho came out after the Europa League final, and he did a bizarre gesture when he complained about being left out of the starting 11. When I think about Mikel Arteta, I don't think Garnacho is the kind of player that Mikel would actually deal with for a week, honestly. Because how many times has Ethan Nwaneri bailed Mikel Arteta out? And yet, Ethan Nwaneri doesn't get the minutes he deserves. How many times have we been screaming out for a player to start games, right? Or a player to be given a chance? Kai Havertz not performing, we scream out for maybe someone else to get a chance. And Kai Havertz will start over players that Arsenal fans think they should be getting a chance. I think Garnacho, as a young player, his discipline issues have chased him out of Manchester United, and I don't think he fits in our Arsenal. I don't think Mikel Arteta is gonna be there, sitting there, and saying, "Well, Garnacho is failing at Manchester United. I could give him a chance." That's a lie. Mikel is not going to give you a chance after you being rebellious over no reason. Absolutely not. And then the other question, is he an upgrade really on Gabriel Martinelli? Because I can say Sancho is either at the same level of Martinelli or he can even do better. But is Garnacho an upgrade on Gabriel Martinelli? His finishing is absolute rubbish. Absolute garbage. Creativity, no. No, I'm not having it. For me, he's not an upgrade on Gabriel Martinelli. I'm sorry, he ain't an upgrade on Gabriel Martinelli. So, Garnacho to Arsenal, in my opinion, no.